Welcome to Sisters in the Kingdom.
I'm Tori,
And I'm Kristen.
and we're two sisters who love all things Disney. All right, to start us off, let's loop back. Last time we shared that our fact or fiction was Violet from Incredibles' name. Her name has a special meaning. Fact or fiction?
Um, I think I want to go fiction.
Fiction.
Yep.
Interesting. Okay, it's a fact.
Ah, nuts. I was kind of thinking that it would have a meaning, but we've had, I think, two facts, so I thought it would be.
Okay, so think about what is Mr. Incredible's original uniform color?
Like a blue?
Mm-hmm. And what is Elastigirl's original?
Hers is red.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so they went together?
Yeah, so when you put blue and red together, what color do you get?
Purple or a
Yeah.
violet.
Yes.
That's really cute.
Isn't it cute?
Yeah.
I thought it was a fun little fact. I mean, it's nothing crazy, but I was like, oh, this is a good one.
I like that.
The
So how'd
things
they
you
come
don't
up
think
with
about.
Dash?
I don't know. You know how like first children always get like I feel like really meaningful names and then
Yeah,
they
I feel
just
like there's a lot of sentimental value, and then as you get further and further along, the names just kind of, well, I liked that one.
All right, so if any of you are listening and you're like third or fourth children, know that your names are special too. Just
That's me.
yeah.
I
I don't think my name has anything
don't know
special
that
either.
no, what the first name has meaning.
Mine?
No, not
Oh.
yours, our brothers.
Okay,
Because
I
he's the
was like,
firstborn.
no, I don't think my first name does have a special meaning.
So I feel like maybe that holds true.
Maybe. My middle name has a meaning.
See, and his middle name has a meaning, but my name is just out there, you know?
All right, I'm sorry. I hope none of you are sitting there like, oh no, my name. But here we go.
That's okay.
So, what we thought we would do is we have not recorded in 2 weeks because we were off because of the holiday. And so we thought we would do a news update because there's been some significant news that has dropped. So if you're a regular Disney news watcher, you've heard some of this, but we just thought we would talk about it and kind of share our impressions along the way.
Yeah, give our 2 cents. But it was like news bombs were happening after we recorded. It's just all of this stuff released, and we were like, oh, we already recorded.
We already did the thing.
So now we're going to fill you in on the big news.
So I feel like we should talk about first something that has been in the news since D23 this summer. And there's been rumors, but nothing that has been official. So what we knew was coming to Hollywood Studios is that Monstropolis was going to be coming. And so excited, right? Like,
Yes.
Monsters Inc. land, so exciting. And particularly the ride. So there's a ride coming in. It's the first suspended roller coaster that Disney has ever done. And it is going to be the scene where, if you've seen Monsters Inc., where they're like riding through the door factory, like that's where you're going to be suspended. And that's going to be amazing.
I'm so excited. I can't wait to ride it. I can't wait for it to be done. But
there were rumors during all of this that the place that it made the most sense to go was going to be Muppets Courtyard. Muppets Courtyard, if you remember, to our like Discovering Disney Hollywood Studios series, Muppet Courtyard does not have much going on.
No. So this is like in Grand Avenue. There's one ride or attraction. It's not a ride. The attraction is Muppet Vision 3D. And everyone loves it.
It's a classic. So I think what I'm most sad about in this conversation is there's not that many classics left. Like I remember like Honey, I Shrunk the Audience.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like there was again, this is Honey I Shrunk, but there used to be a huge play set that was Honey I Shrunk. The audience that like had big ants and big blades of grass and all of these things. And I feel like this piece, this Muppets 3D, is like one of the last little pieces of that era.
That's holding on.
Yeah.
So, what we're trying to tell you is that all of Muppets Courtyard is going to be renovated into Monstropolis. So, no more Muppets Vision 3D, and they're taking away 2 of the restaurants that we talked about, which is Pizza Rizzo and Mama Melrose's restaurant.
Which I don't care about Pizza Rizzo. Like, Pizza Rizzo,
No.
I don't think has ever had great reviews. It's puffy pizza. It's a very generic. So it's not, I don't know. I just don't think people are going to be sad. Now, Mama Melrose, we've talked about. I've never eaten at.
Well, okay, so this is all closing in 2025, but they haven't put like an official date on it that I could find. So maybe you need to try to sneak in there.
I can't. On my trip, we're going to do Hollywood Brown Derby, and I feel
Oh,
like
yeah. Well,
it's just something that I'm just never going to get to do, and that's okay.
okay, so Muppet Vision 3D disappearing. How do you feel about it? Because I know you said so it's like that original ride, you're gonna miss it.
Yeah.
Or attraction, rather. But, like, otherwise, are you upset?
No.
You know, me either. I feel like there are a large number of people that are very tied to the Muppets and this attraction in particular that are not happy.
I know. There are a lot of people who are not happy. I love this for nostalgia reasons, like I talked about. But it's also not a must do for me. Like, I love that it's there. But I don't have to do it.
I agree. Really, unless I'm sweating to death, it's not a top choice for me as a place to go.
But it is something that I feel like is a people eater.
Yes, and it's a good length show that people could go and sit and rest. And I've heard or read a lot of arguments in the favor of keeping it, that this is not only a nostalgia thing like you were saying, but it's a good place for the Muppets. Like, it's hard to fit the Muppets in their like quirkiness and the way that they do all their stuff in somewhere else.
Yeah.
And so the big news with them moving is, where are they going to be putting them?
They are going to be putting them in Rock and Roller Coaster. So featuring Aerosmith currently, it will no longer be featuring Aerosmith. It is now going to be featuring the Muppets.
Interesting.
We don't have much to go on yet. They gave some concept art.
I like the graphic. They gave a graphic, and I feel like, what's his name that's going to be playing the Animal? Is it Animal? Is going to be like the music guy. I don't know. I feel like it makes sense.
Does it?
Well, the concept art looks good, but I feel like integrating them into this ride is a choice.
It's a choice. And I think the thing is no one is really tied to Aerosmith anymore. So this is probably the easiest choice to try to appease Muppet fans without having to create something completely new. And it should be a really easy, probably, transition over, because the pre-show currently for Rock and Roller Coaster is more of like holographics of Aerosmith. So I'm assuming they can do just kind of like a holographic overlay. They changed the songs to be Muppet related. I don't think they're going to have to do much.
I don't think so either. So, first off, Rock and Roller Coaster just celebrated its 25th anniversary. And now we're like, all right, it was a good run.
Well, everybody thought it was going to change potentially this summer after its long overhaul, and they kept it.
Yeah, it was closed for like 6 months.
So now is the perfect. I don't know. We'll see. I'm
Well,
not mad.
then would have been the perfect time to change it when you
Yeah,
closed
but
it.
then you would have had to close. So right now they're not definitely doing anything, right? Like it's happening, but they don't
Mhm.
necessarily have a concrete timeline.
True.
Um, so right now, again, both of these can remain people eaters until they make some official announcements.
That's fair. So I thought what could be fun is I looked up some critiques that people have about this since
Ooh.
we don't have as many. Well, I think we have critiques about the Muppets going on to Rock and Roller Coaster, but we don't have a big critique about Muppets Courtyard becoming Monstropolis.
Okay.
So these are the critiques that people have about the Muppets going on to Rock and Roller Coaster. So the first one being that Muppets are for kids. This is what people are saying. This is not like my opinion. We're gonna get into it, but Muppets are for kids, and you have to be 48 inches to ride Rock and Roller Coaster. What do you think about that?
I don't think Muppets are for kids. Like I think about my kids, and yes, there's Muppet babies now, but Muppets I feel like are like millennial and older. It's not. I don't think it's like a hot commodity for little kids.
I agree. I think that the Muppets, the kids that are into Muppets are the kids whose parents were into the Muppets that are
Yes,
trying to get them to understand the Muppets
right.
being cool.
Yeah, I don't think that that's a valid complaint, but whatever.
Okay, well, me either. So that's the first one. The next one is that the Muppets aren't popular.
Again, I think there's a very specific subsect, and when you're talking about Disney adults,
Uh huh.
Disney adults like the Muppets.
They
Like
love the Muppets.
they love the Muppets. Like
Except
they
I
love
don't
a
love the
mis-
Muppets. I feel like I'm not. This is gonna sound bad. I feel like I'm not quite old enough. Like I just wasn't in at the time.
Our brother and
Love
I
the
watched
Muppets.
a lot of Muppets. Like I distinctly remember them flying out of the plane with the cargo down to the fountain in the Muppet movie. And I remember Fonzie at the newspaper with Kermit. I remember it all. I
See, I
remember.
can only tell you like three Muppets names, and it's the most popular. I know I'm putting my brother to shame right now. I was not well educated enough. But like another point, so agreed, Disney adults love the Muppets. So I feel like in that aspect they're popular. Another thought is that there are other rides that are like from Disney classics. So say that like the Muppets are a nostalgic kind of Disney, older Disney concept. Well, what about like Tron or Twilight Zone Tower of Terror? Like those aren't new popular things. Like Tron itself as a movie is older. Twilight Zone, the show, is older.
I'm judging you right now. Tron is definitely a lot newer than the Muppets.
Not the first one,
Okay, you're right. The original.
because we just watched, not just, months ago, we watched the new Tron, and then I wanted to see like the OG Tron. Wow, what a difference.
But
It's
I
so
agree with what you're
pixelated.
ultimately I agree with what you're saying.
Okay. Oh, there was one more point I had that
I was like, I'm waiting for it.
I had to write them down so I could keep my thoughts. But like popularity shouldn't necessarily be what picks a ride. Because no offense to you, but like Carousel of Progress, not necessarily the most popular thing you can do, but it has stuck around. The Hall of Presidents, it's still hanging.
Those are classics, and I am offended. Also, the reason that I love Carousel of Progress is because Disney worked on it.
I know. I know, I know.
What about People Mover? We both love People Mover, and that has to do with nothing.
Exactly, so it can stay forever. It's got no old, no new. You're
No
just
IP. No
above
IP.
everything.
All right, so that's what's happening there. The other thing that's happening right in that same area because they are closing down. Is it officially closed already?
I don't know if it's official. Wait, we're not going to do any more critiques.
Oh, sure. Sorry, I didn't know there were more critiques.
Oh, yeah, there's more.
Oh, okay. Well, then, excuse me. Let's not get into the other big piece.
Okay.
Give me more.
Another one. People are arguing that Aerosmith is irreplaceable. What do you
Get
think
outta
about
here.
that?
You know who's saying that? Our parents' age.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I feel like aerospace is irreplaceable. If you maybe had the Beatles in there, or like, I just feel like aerospace, nod to our dad. Aerosmith is just, I don't know.
I agree. I feel like if you pick another big band, you're just moving like side to side. You're not making a big change in the world of Disney. And you're going to have to pay them incredible fees
Right. I
to
just
use
don't know
them.
why. Which band would you go with? You're going to stick with Aerosmith?
No, so I don't know. The other thing is people are like, okay, well, if we were going to pick an artist, just a single artist, who would you pick right now?
No clue.
I've seen people saying that you should go with Taylor Swift because she's on the rise. Not on the rise. She's on top.
I was like, she's not on the rise. And
Can you imagine how much that would be? The cost of that?
well, not even the cost. I'm just trying to imagine, what does that have to do with Disney? The same thing with Aerosmith. Like, what does it have to do with Disney? Now,
Nothing.
what I do think, so Disney's always down for a money grab. I think this will ultimately help Disney because if you're moving Muppets in there, you can move Muppets IP into the gift shop, which I think will sell a lot more.
I'm
Then,
excited. That's going to be some good gift shop merch. Like,
can you
Muppets.
imagine the ears? I feel like they're going to have good ears.
Well, so we'll have to get a pair.
You, not me. I'm not really a fan of Rock and Roller Coaster. I don't love to go upside down.
I just don't like the feeling of my head rattling around.
Yes. So any ride that you have to preface with, like, make sure you keep your head tight against the back so it don't, like, I'm okay. I'm okay. At this point, my age, I'm good.
That's
I've
fair.
hit that age.
That's fair. All right, I've got one more for you.
Okay.
Imagineering doesn't know what it's doing. What do you think about that?
I do feel like this is something I can kind of get on board with.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Imagineering has stalled for a lot of years.
Mm-hmm.
And they're recognizing in order to keep up with Universal, they have to make some changes.
Yeah, big changes.
And so I think they're like throwing everything to the wall and just seeing what sticks. Like if you
They're
go to
making pasta and they're just trying to see which noodle
Yeah.
is correctly cooked.
if you go to Magic Kingdom, I would have never ever put Cars in Frontierland. Like I feel like you have a classic.
Where would you put it?
I don't know. I wouldn't put Cars in Magic Kingdom.
Would you put it in Hollywood Studios? Because that's
Yes.
where I would put it.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm struggling because, and I know we're not talking about Magic Kingdom.
Oh, that's okay.
But I'm struggling because if you look at Magic Kingdom is full of classics and like originals and all of these things. You're getting rid of the boat.
Yep.
You're getting rid of Tom Sawyer Island.
Yep.
You're like clearing out all of these, essentially Frontierland. You're just saying goodbye. And now we're going to add Cars there. And so I don't know. So I think Disney is like, okay, people love IP. They love like being able to see the characters. Let's throw some more characters in here. And I'm like, do we have to do that? Like you have enough land. Leave the old there. And if you want to expand.
And keep the old.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good argument.
I don't know. So, but I'm very excited for Villains Land. But I feel like Disney fans have been begging for a Villains Land for years.
Forever. Uh-huh.
I mean, a fifth park is really what we've been wanting. But they're finally going to give us the land. And again, I come to is Magic Kingdom even the right spot for that?
It seems kind of gloom and gloomy.
Right.
Maybe Epcot. That would have been an interesting place. Put like a whole new...
Oh, you could like a new country? This is where the villains live.
It's just the villains' country. Or go put each of them in their countries.
Yeah. You could have. Again, I think Hollywood Studios is kind of your catch-all and could have caught a lot of these things.
But now we can kind of turn towards where you're going with that because a form of villains.
Oh, yeah.
are going to come to Hollywood Studios. So why don't you tell them what's happening?
Okay, I'm going to, but I also then feel like this is strange. But
Yeah, why would there be both? Because I thought the same thing.
So there used to be a Lightning McQueen ride that I think just shut down.
Mm-hmm.
It had some really cool animatronic cars, but they're going to scrap that and they're going to do a Disney Villains Unfairly Ever After.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be with like the Magic Mirrors Mysterious Realm. You're going to have Cinderella, Cruella
Cruella.
Captain Hook, Maleficent, and then artwork also shows Queen of Hearts, Scar, Jafar, Hades. I saw Ursula in the artwork too.
Oh, okay. I didn't see her in a mirror, but that doesn't mean maybe we looked at different pieces.
Yes. It's supposed to be more of like a high energy performance where they're like breaking through the glass and like taking the stage.
Yeah, so it's all included in this magic mirror concept is what I'm understanding from the renderings and the little tidbit they gave us, and then they're supposed to like bust out and be alive.
Here we are.
Oh, I really hope they have all of them. Like, how cool.
I mean, I do think it'll be really cool. It's supposed to come next summer, so summer 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Again, where I'm having a hard time is we've had no villains. Let's just be very clear. Villains are only come around during Mickey's Very Scary, and you can find like no villain merch. It is very difficult to find villain merch. And now all of a sudden Disney's like, hey, we're going to give you a Villain's Land and we're going to give you a show, but the show's not going to be in the land. It's going to be over in a different park next to Muppets.
Yeah, that's a little odd. I don't know if they were like, we have a show and we have a space for a show, and so this is what it's going to be. Like, I don't know.
But Hollywood Studios itself is struggling. Like the new Little Mermaid show is supposed to come out this fall, and now it's set to come next summer, maybe. Like, they struggle.
But when they do stuff, it's really good.
It is really good. I just
like Toy Story Land, Star Wars Land. I mean, off the charts. So
you would think, though, we love Disney, so I'm just giving you their side. You would think with as much money as Disney has, mm-hmm. why does it take them so long to do anything?
I don't know. I don't know enough about who's in charge, but I know they've had like a lot of twisting and turning of who's taking the lead in Disney. So I feel like that probably has a lot to do with it, like pushback between opinions.
I just feel like you have increased the prices. I mean, they always do, but they are steadily increasing ticket prices to the point that like a single day at Magic Kingdom can be anywhere from like 140 now to like 180 for a day ticket for one person. And and I don't feel like they're keeping up with the price inflation that they are bestowing upon other people.
Like they're not giving us enough bang for our buck for how much. That's fair. And all of it's going up.
Well, and I think you have so many of us Disney adults that go all the time, right? I guess if you only go once in your life, you're going to get enough. Like, there's enough there. But if you go on a regular basis, give us some new things.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
There are some other things that we don't have on here that are coming. There's some new lounges that are coming next year.
Yeah. Let's see. I got the names of them here in just a second.
One of them is the Pirates of the Caribbean lounge.
Yeah, I'm so pumped. That's the one I'm most excited about. So, okay, here we go. Test Track is set to open in summer of 2025. How do we feel about that? Are you excited?
Well, this will be the third rendition of Test Track that I've been on in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love Test Track, period.
But maybe this one will do it. Maybe we're going to be in like Cybertrucks.
I very much dislike the new Cybertrucks. There's no part of me that wants to do anything with them.
They're like tanks. I don't know.
They're so ugly. I'm sorry.
I wanted to make it exciting. That's not what's happening. Don't think that's what's happening.
They're so ugly. But I like the original test track better than where it was, and I think it's supposed to be going more back to that direction.
Okay. I like that too. That was my favorite form. Okay, here it is. It's called the Pirates Tavern in Magic Kingdom. It's set to open in late 2025.
I am excited about this. I am curious if they'll serve alcohol because it looks like they will, and that is against Magic Kingdom rules.
Yes, so then surely you can't take that out of the tavern if they include it. It's going to be like an Oga's Canteen type situation. Get your drink, drink it. It's probably going to be the same type concept that
But Hollywood
Oga.
Studios, you can take your drinks to go. Like if you go to the Brown Derby Lounge, you can pick up
Yeah,
a
you
drink and
can
wander
there, but
around.
they didn't let you take them out of Oga's.
Interesting.
So I'm just wondering if that's like a difference. And I know Oga's has kind of changed their rules, but before it was you only had 45 minutes. It was 45 minutes, two drinks, no more than that. Like they set very strict stipulations to shove in as many people as possible. But this looks like there's more chairs involved.
Interesting. I don't know. I'm excited. I think that'll be a good thing.
I think so too. The next one is going to be Spaceship Earth Lounge. That opens in spring of 2025.
I don't know why this is needed.
Yeah, so is this like going to be inside of
No.
Where's that space place where you eat? No.
Space 220? No.
Yeah.
No, I think it's just going to probably be by Spaceship Earth, so the icon, and it's going to be a little lounge. But again, I don't know why this is needed because you have so many different places to eat and drink in Epcot. And this is like the one park. You don't need anything else.
Yeah, I agree with that. The only other thing I saw is that 2025 is the last year to ride Dinosaur, but I cannot find, I've been searching when Dinosaur closes.
I don't
because
think
I
they
know
know
there's
yet. Oh, you did forget something. There is a new nighttime parade coming in the summer
Oh, yes.
at
I'm
Magic
excited.
Kingdom. That I am excited about because they used to have the electrical night parade, which was fantastic. So I'm hoping they do something similar-ish.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Other than like me loving Disney, I'm going to speak to me. I know you do too. I have seen lots of articles and lots of reports about this is not the year to go to Disney.
Because everyone's trying to wait for the new things.
Yeah.
So maybe this is the time to go. If you want to get all those last minute things in, like we should be travel agents, tell you what.
But there's so many things closing. So like if you like Animal Kingdom will be a little bit more sparse.
Yep, getting rid of Triceratops Spin, the playground there, that's kind of where they're starting on taking things down.
Yeah. And you've got Big Thunder that's going to be shut down all year in Magic Kingdom.
That one's tragic.
That is a tragic situation. The Liberty Bell is going to be gone. Tom Sawyer Island, gone. I'm trying to think of what are
We should be writing all this down because these are all the things that we got to hit. Like, this is going to be the most exciting Magic Kingdom trip. We're going to hit the ferry. We're going to go to Tom
Whatever,
Sawyer
you're going to have me
Island.
in a tour 3/4 of it. I'm going to have to sprint through it.
Well, we're hoping. We don't know yet.
Okay, so you're going to try to get me in a tour, and then you're going to be like, okay, after the tour, we're going to run to Tom Sawyer Island. Go do the caves. We'll go play tag in the caves and see how it is. We'll live our childhood dreams.
Let's see. Oh, I had one more announcement. So yesterday was, well, it'll be even longer than that when this comes out. But on, what's today? Wednesday when we record? On Tuesday of this week, whenever it comes out, they opened registration for the Disneyland Halloween race.
It happened yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Did you sign us up?
No.
Fail.
Oh, I tell you what. So I was working and I had made an agreement not to sign up. And then I got in the queue just, for funsies because I love to run that risk in my life and just kind of see what happens. And I watched and everything was open when I got in. And I just think this was the wrong time to make a drop for races. Like to drop races at the beginning of December. Like everyone's trying to buy things for the holidays and plan things and you've got all your property taxes. Like it's an expensive month usually to
So your
then
property taxes?
like your car taxes. Yeah.
That must be a Missouri thing.
All right. Well, if you live in Missouri, your taxes.
Actually, I do know that because I still get emails saying like property taxes are due. That's not how it works where I live anymore.
Okay. Well, for those of us Missourians, so anyway, it just don't know that it was the right time. So anyway, I sat there and I watched, and like it was not kicking me out. I had all these opportunities, but I did not sign up. But I wanted to tell you that there are still races open. I have never ever seen this happen. The 5K is sold out. It's the only that one and the 10K are sold out. The 10K didn't sell out until today. It was open all of the first day, and the challenge and the half marathon and the kids races are all still available. So I have thoughts. I don't know if it's because it's an expensive time. Like last year they dropped it in February for September. This year they're doing December. And then my other thought is it was so dang hot.
So I have seen a lot of reports about that from people saying, is it going to be that hot again? And everyone's like, I don't know. Like, you can't predict that.
So it's 50-50. Some runners want to go back, and other runners, they didn't do it. So they're like, this is my chance to do it. And then other ones are like, it was so hot. I'm never doing that again. Mm-hmm. And I loved it. I wish it was sold out so then it wasn't just sitting there taunting me.
Well, I can't go now, so you have to go on your own. Because I cannot do a full half.
I looked at the 5K. Apparently everyone wanted to do that one.
It's because it's the best villain there is.
But I did sign up for some alerts that if it does sell out, maybe I'll get lucky in the future and sneak in.
Just sneak in. Just get in there.
Well, we'll see. Oh, also, before we wrap this up, speaking of Wrapped, it's Wrapped season for Spotify.
Oh, yeah.
And so we found out information about you guys, our listeners. So exciting. I was really kind of blown away. We had our top episode is our first one, which makes sense. The first one
we know.
Called Once Upon a Time. So if you want to go all the way back, it's not going to be on YouTube if you're watching us. But if you go to Spotify or Apple or Amazon Music, go give it a listen.
I mean, I could put the video on. It would be real bad.
Well, that's okay. Just, just a first draft. Everyone's got their first video of something.
Actually, I can't. Because before we started recording these, we would do things like, oh, just edit this out. Like, my kids would come down and talk. Like, there would be whole conversations we have.
Yeah, that's true. I also wanted to point out that we're the top podcast, so in the top, 5 for 21 of our fans. Thank you guys so much. We're just so excited. And then our top country is the U.S., and on Spotify, at least, you guys have given us a 5-star rating. I don't know how we are holding that, but we are at 5 stars with multiple reviews, and no, we have not reviewed ourselves. So don't.
We haven't. And we added a new country.
Yes. Let me pull it up. So we have 9 countries, and I found one that's different on Apple Podcasts, I think. So let's see here. Go to our audience. Okay, so our countries are the U.S., Sweden, the United Kingdom, Canada, Ireland, Peru, South Africa, France, and Mexico.
Wow.
Wild. And then, specifically that was for all platforms. And then specifically on Spotify, we also have Finland.
Interesting.
And it's 0.3% of our listeners. So I don't know how many Finland people we have listening, but that's really exciting.
It is exciting. Ooh, I also have an episode idea from my boss, actually, the person I work with. She would like us to do an episode on what to do at Disney for those people who don't want to ride any rides or get extremely motion sick.
All right. I can think on that. Did you say you're going to have to ask your sister for some help with that?
I didn't. I just said we could do that. We could figure it out.
I'm big on I love to just take in the ambiance.
And I want to ride all the rides.
Yes.
But that's okay. We have different vibes.
We do.
Okay. So before we go, we have to end with our fact or fiction. And this week's is Brave was the first Disney movie directed by an individual identified as a female. Ooh, join us next time for the answer.
You've been listening to Sisters in the Kingdom. If you like this episode, please drop us a rating or review below. We hope you've enjoyed this little piece of Disney in your day. And remember, you are the magic.